this is Nick for Digital Trends. We're checking out the HTC One X here. There's actually a lot of impressive things about this phone, but what I want to show you guys today is actually the camera. Obviously, Nokia has kind of been the star of this show with its 41 megapixel 808 pure view, but this phone actually does a lot of things pretty impressive with the camera as well, which is what I wanted to show you today. So we'll go ahead and open this here. Now this is a 8 megapixel backside illuminated sensor, which is pretty impressive, but I think the more impressive thing is that there's actually a dedicated image processor in here, which is doing all the heavy lifting for the camera work. So I can go ahead and just snap a regular photo, obviously, pretty simple, but the cooler thing that I can do that the dedicated image processor allows that not many other phones will do, you can actually do burst mode just by holding this down. So I don't think you can hear the clicking there, but it's actually taking a string of photos, and you can see here, even though that guy was in motion, that actually looks pretty smooth here. In the past, sometimes it's blurred a little bit. We'll go ahead and go back. Another cool thing that you can do, thanks to that dedicated image processing chip, I'll switch into video mode here. So now I'm shooting video. You can see the timers going on the clip that I'm recording. But I can just, anytime while I'm shooting video here, I can just click the camera shutter button, and I'm taking individual snaps too that you can see are going into my library there. So pretty impressive technology there. And there's one more thing I wanted to show you, which is the HDR capability in this, which is fairly impressive. Obviously, HDR stands for high dynamic range lighting, so it's going to take several exposures and then combine them into one. I'm actually going to take a photo here looking up, for the reason that you know, HDR, if you've got a lot of movement in it, people on the show floor here, it's going to tend to blur them together. So I took a shot on there. I'm going to take the same shot actually on my iPhone 4. Note that that's the iPhone 4, not the 4S. So we're not really doing a complete apples to apples comparison here, because we're looking at Apple's last generation technology here and HTC's phone that is yet to come out. But I do want to show you guys the difference between two HDR shots taken with the different cameras. Hopefully I can get these. So now there's a couple things to point out there, but in general I think you'll see that the HTC did a much better job picking up the detail in the ceiling and sort of balancing the exposure in the shots. It took, I think, 3 exposures, I believe HTC said, and combines those into one. And you know, it's worth noting that the HDR on the original iPhone 4 is pretty good. So the fact that you know, this one is doing even better, pretty impressive stuff. So we're really looking forward to seeing the HTC One X hit the market, and for photographers, it's definitely going to be pretty stiff competition, even beside the Nokia 808 PureView.